Tesla accessories should make your car look cooler or be fun to have, but there are a few things that Teslas kind of need that don't come with the car and are therefore classified as accessories. So today I made a list of 12 accessories that every new Tesla owner should have. So let's go ahead and dive into it, starting with the center console organizer. There's this huge space in the Tesla, great for storage. There's a lot of space here to put things, but without any sort of organizer, it's almost useless because anything you put in this area will be lost because it's just so deep. These organizers are just pieces of plastic you would put in. There's no sort of installation process. They're very easy, and it gives it kind of a second level of organization. So it slides back and forth, so you have a lot more options to store those smaller things and just make it more organized. And the armrest area, just like the center console, goes pretty deep. Not as deep, but deep enough to where an organizer in this area as well would be very helpful, because again, if you put some small things in these areas, which they are kind of meant for, they'll just get lost and you'll be reaching your whole arm down there to try to find them. So organizers both in the center console and the armrest just make organization and putting small things in here so much easier to retrieve and actually use these spaces. Secondly, let's talk about the leather shield, especially for you white interior folks. The last thing you want is a stain or something like that on your white interior seats, but for your black interior as well. This leather shield is an extra layer of protection. It's super easy to put on. You only need it once every few months. And again, it just acts as a layer of protection, especially if you have dogs or kids are at risk of having your seats stained or spilled on by something. This will make cleaning the seats so much easier and preserve the quality of your interior for the lifetime of your vehicle. And Tesla leather is actually pretty durable and lasts a very long time on its own. But with this leather shield, it makes cleaning a whole lot easier. So for example, in the future, if you were to spill some coffee on your seats, if you use this leather shield, you can probably wipe the coffee up with some paper towels and baby wipes, and you would never even know there was any sort of spill on your seat. Next, I want to talk about floor mats, because Teslas come with these carpet floor mats, which if you ask me are a little bit on the cheaper side. And I was a skeptic at first because I live here in beautiful Las Vegas where we hardly get any rain. We never get any snow. And I thought because of that, my shoes are pretty clean compared to other areas of the country. So my floor mats would be okay, I thought, with the carpet ones. However, just after a few thousand miles, they did become stained with just the dirt of in and out. And the carpet ones are very hard to clean. So I eventually upgraded to some all-weather floor mats from Tesla. You can get them anywhere. A lot of companies make really good floor mats, but any sort of all-weather floor mat is an absolute necessity because they're just so much easier to clean. With mine, I take them out, hose them down, put some soap on them, and they look as good as new after I clean them. So I'm very happy with that, and I would highly recommend and say it's a necessity to get these all-weather floor mats. Now, next on this list, I wanted to include this under-screen storage. Yes, it's cool to have some extra storage for some things in your car, but I say it's a necessity because Teslas have these holders for your phones that actually charge your phone as well. So if you put your phone where it's supposed to be, it will always be charging on the wireless charger. However, with that, your phone does become very hot, especially if you already have close to a full battery and you put it there. Your phone just begins to overheat very quickly and gets very little charge after that. So I like this under screen storage. We put our phones here when we don't need them to charge. It has some grip in it as well, so our phones don't slide around. And we love this under screen storage for that one reason, to put our phones here when we don't want them wirelessly charging. Next on this list, we have roof shades. So the brand new Model Y is infused with iron or something that makes the car 7 times more reflective to heat. But outside of that brand new Model Y, every other Tesla, the roof is UV protected, but not so much heat protected. And I wasn't sure if these roof shades were necessary. Again, just like the floor mats, I went a summer here with just tint on my roof, and I thought that that was the same as getting a roof shade. But then my wife got roof shades for her Model Y, and the difference between my car and her car with the roof shades was absolutely drastic. Yes, the tint and the normal Tesla glass will give you UV protection, but especially out here in Vegas in the summer, those roof shades are invaluable. Now you can get some that just clip on. They're very easy to take on and off. It takes about 2 or 3 minutes, but there's also some higher quality ones you can get as well. If you want one that slides back and forth, there's an option for those, as well as some, if you really want to get up there, that are actually electronic. You would press a button and it would slide open or slide closed. For us, we have the simple one with the clips because we have them on for the summer and off for the winter. But if you're somebody who would take them on and off more frequently than that, then you might want to look into a retractable one or an electronic one. Next, we have a screen protector, kind of an obvious one, but one that Tesla does not come with. Just like your iPhone, the screen in your car controls just about everything, and outside of the battery, it's probably the most valuable part in your car and one of the last things that you would want to be cracked or damaged. So a simple screen protector is a very cheap investment price-wise that can save you thousands of dollars in the future if you were to ever have it cracked. Now with the screen protector, you have two options between matte and glossy. Matte is supposed to help with glare a little bit more, whereas glossy is supposed to help retain that high definition of the screen. Me and my wife both have matte screen protectors in our Model 3 and our Model Y, and I don't notice any difference in the screen quality, but the glare is huge, again, for us in Vegas especially. So I would highly recommend a matte screen protector, but it's up to you between matte and glossy. Next, we have Tesla jack pads. I have one right here. It's like a hard piece of rubber, like a hockey puck, with one thing on the end here. And what this is for, if you ever want to work on your own car, want to change your tires or get under the car for any reason, if you jack the car up, you don't want to place the jack right on the battery, because the last thing you want more than a damaged screen is a damaged battery. So if the jack punctures or damages the battery, you don't want that. So this jack pad, it goes between the jack and the battery itself. So when you do lift your car up, it is protected from any sort of punctures or damage from the jack itself. Next, we have this seatbelt extender. This is the one thing on this list that we don't have, only because we really never use our back seats or our back seat belts. But if you do, like if you have kids, and especially, again, for you white interior folks, and some of the Model 3s and Model Ys, if you use that back seat belt a lot, you will get some stains where the seatbelt actually hits the seat, and that stitching may come undone. So what this seatbelt extender is, it places a gap between the seatbelt and the seat, so when you pull out that seatbelt, it won't be rubbing against your back seat. Next on this list, we have mud flaps. Again, especially for those of you who live in climates like this here in Las Vegas, where things are just rocky. With the Tesla, without the mud flaps, you get a lot of rocks kicked up and they'll hit the car, those lower panels, those lower back panels, and you might get some rock chips in those areas. Mud flaps will help a lot with keeping the rocks out from hitting the back and the sides of your car. And if you don't live in a climate like Vegas, where maybe it's just like rainy or muddy a lot, it just keeps your car cleaner. Next, we have EV Ject. That's not a Tesla. I can be in a race. Next, we have EV Ject, and what this little adapter is, it goes between a charger and your car. So for example, at a supercharger, if you're plugged in without this adapter, no matter what happens, you can't drive away in your Tesla if you're plugged into a supercharger. The car will not let you go into drive and drive away. So if something were to happen at the charger, like an emergency or someone hooks up to your car and it's just not a good situation, you gotta escape, you can't do that unless you have this here. This will allow you to drive away with the charger plugged into your car. So it's one of those things where you probably won't ever use it, but if you do use it, you'll be very happy that you have it. So it's one of those things just for safety reasons that I highly recommend any Tesla owner who will use a supercharger on any sort of road trip to get. Next, we have the trunk liners. They're basically formats for the trunk, and these are very useful if you use your trunk a lot, even for like grocery trips, but especially for like things like moving furniture or heavy objects that you'll put in and out of the trunk by just like scraping it along that area. The carpet is fine, but it might get damaged or pulled up over time, where these trunk mats have a pretty good grip to them as well. I like that a lot about them, but it's gonna protect your trunk if you're in and out of your trunk a lot, moving big things inside and outside of your Tesla. And over time, again, that carpet just wears down. You'll see some wear and tear in there, but these floor mats, or these trunk liners, floor mats for the trunk, hold up very well over time, and they're easily washable, just like floor mats. And last on this list, I wanted to include these seat covers. They're very cheap. They don't look good. They're not for style. They're just for if you go to the gym, go for a run, or get dirty or sweaty for some reason. The last thing you want to do is sit on your very nice, hopefully very clean Tesla leather seats. So these are very easy to take on and take off. They fold up and fit perfectly under your seat, in the front, in the trunk. You throw them away wherever you want. And I just love these. Again, if you're going to the gym, when you get all sweaty, you don't gotta worry about sitting on those leather seats and getting them all dirty. Just throw these seat covers on. They're very easy. They don't look great. Again, just to protect your seats for when you are not the cleanest. And if you're like us and take your dogs a lot of places, they have one for the back seat as well. Same idea, very easy to take on and off. Not really for style, just for keeping the seats clean. And there is my list of 12 accessories I think are necessary for every new Tesla owner. If you're a new Tesla owner, I hope this video helped you out. If you haven't yet made your purchase, I would kindly ask of you to use our referral code, link down below. Save up to $1,000 on the purchase of a brand new Tesla for yourself. And if you're a current Tesla owner and you think I missed something here, let me know in the comments down below. But as always, thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one.